Greetings. That's a beautiful thing to wake up to. An insane cult of demonic unalivers. but then on the positive note, we have God's kings and queens coming together. So that's always great clickbait to read into. I think we've been dealing with this energy for quite some time, haven't we? I know y'all are tired of reading it, so that was the whole point. Bringing people together in unity, letting other people have the credit for true unity, not a demonic cult of serial unalivers that are, under judgment, that would be the narcissistic group of parasites that were cashing in on the spiritual community. My personal prediction is it was individuals that want to control the narrative, because the devil is a liar. I agree. They want to control the narrative of truth. Love, light, and truth. That's what it is. Okay, great. So, that was the energy in the cards. Them targeting gifted people, empaths, whatever, so that they can cash in on their intellectual property. They do the work, and then these people take the credit. They do the work, and then they harvest the energy, because all they care about is money. It's the greed aspect of things. And then, okay, so now we've got this person that did all the work, created all these things. We'll just go ahead and toss them away. We'll just go ahead and throw them in the dumpster when what comes around goes around. Now it's a demonic cult of serial unalivers whose lives are in a dumpster fire, basically. That's what it is. And I mean, if one person gets the credit for taking down an insane serial unaliving cult of demonic people, all she had to do was say natural disaster. As soon as she said natural disaster, it's like, okay, well, it's just what it is. That's a group causing natural disasters. And if one person has to take credit, because that would have been their plan to come together, we'll blame this person. Not our demonic cult of liars, but we'll blame this one person. So if one person has to take credit for that, I'm glad I have 5-star reviews. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. I appreciate your 5-star reviews. I appreciate everything that you do. 3:16 on the clock now. It's just what it is. I mean, Pisces, we know that you are generally the most targeted. We've had that energy for too long of them using moon magic to harvest energy off of Pisces. 3:33 on the clock, trying to take Pisces' spiritual protection, trying to derail Pisces at every turn, trying to keep Pisces from finding any kind of success in life. And the question is going to remain, why? That's that's the work that they would be doing. People have to do the work. You have to do the work. So things like that are going to take some time. People would have to do the work, so you have to find people that do the work, and that shit always takes some time. However, what happens in the meantime? Confirmation. Energy harvesters. Individuals wanting to cash in on the spiritual community, utilizing the gifts of others, and then taking the credit as if they had done it themselves. It's exactly what it is. So that's what it is. I can't do anything about that. Not concerned with it. There's been too many bribes paid. There was too much money on everyone's mind. Everybody's vision was clouded with dollar signs instead of natural disasters. And we know that comes with the territory of the light. You're going to attract the darkest of negative energies, of demonic energies. And then you're going to attract the brightest of angelic energies. Focus on one. We're driving down our own lane. You have positive, beneficial, growth mindsets, health-oriented energies in front of you, with all that demonic shit under judgment back there. That's what it is. You can't. Not responsible for what is her clickbait? An insane demonic cult of serial unalivers. A cult. So that means a group. That means more than one. That means a gaggle, a hive, a herd, a whole herd of trigger demons. Pisces, your light triggers their demons. Okay, great. So then you would have to expect a corrupt cult of triggered demonic parasites to be involved in that. So that's what it is. I can't do anything about that. Let's do a starseed reading, shall we? God got us all that is. Angels, archangels, ascended masters, the divine white light. It has to be a clear and infinite channel for your wisdom at this time, for myself as well as those I do readings for. Namaste. So, I mean, that's the thing. You have to... Pisces. False God, the devil's a liar. Pisces, these people are under judgment. They're getting karma. Energy transfer is real. This is advice that readers are giving other people. Pisces, these people are under judgment. They're getting karma. They're being punished by God. God's chasing them with storms. Energy transfer is real. Getting involved with these people will start you into another karmic cycle. Okay, great. I can agree with all of that. They can only pull you down if you're beneath them. Okay, so we're going to continue our ascension process. We're going to continue putting everything we can into ascending, investing in ourselves and ascending out of a corrupt group of demonic, parasitic unalivers. Serial unalivers is what this young lady's telling thousands of people over a light worker, over a starseed. Because why? Because they wanted you to do all the work so they could take all the credit. Cool, they get the credit for the natural disasters. Thank you, Spirit. That's what it is. They get the credit for their, and it's what it is. There's last night, Queen's Eye, I appreciate that, said the biggest loss in history. The Earth Angels are making themselves known to the world. Okay, well, I mean, that's my birth chart. I obviously have the Earth Angels' glowing aura. We're obviously in the warrior stage of war angels and the destruction that comes along with them. Because vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. What they put out goes back on them. So now not only do you have a corrupt group of serial, unaliving, demonic narcissist energy in the tarot collective, but they're mad at one person. Thank you, Spirit. It's what it is. I can't do anything about that. And if they're going to be mad at one person, I'm so glad you guys are here. It's just what it is. From Arizona dealing, did they try to unalive an Earth Angel? Did they really try to sacrifice an Earth Angel to the devil? Is that true? That's what these ladies are telling everyone. Is that true? Thank you, Spirit. Simple enough. It's where the test of faith comes in. Sweet. And then you got to think. Bravery, courage, da-da-da-da-da. How long did they let it go on? And you've got... Here's the problem with all of this. You have these lower level bottom feeder aspects of we've got a body in the closet. Okay, great. Now you have the macro level, top level of an island full of rich men that have multiple children in their closet. Simple enough. We're stuck in the middle with you. I got clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. That's what it is. I hear they tried to unalive an Earth Angel. Is that true? Is that true? A bunch of pedos and demonic cults of serial unalivers. They tried to unalive an Earth Angel. Is that true? Where is that Earth Angel? You can't trust these people. Where is that Earth Angel? Just what you think that Earth Angel was speaking some truth, and they wanted to silence the truth at all costs because they didn't want their kids on an island being uncovered. Or their droog thoats still, rotting in the closet. They got to, she just did too much, man. So, we wanted to play with her on the floor like that for a couple months. That's what it is. We just keep her in the closet. Some sick people out there, man. Simple enough. Thank you, Spirit. Who knows what these people are hiding? Well, they're hiding something, and they're mad at somebody. So cool. Be mad. It's okay. I'm not responsible for how people feel. Thank you, Spirit. I'm not responsible for rich men and your kids on an island. I'm not responsible for ice cream trucks in Texas and Virginia. We're not responsible for any of that. Those are other people's problems. Thank you, Spirit. We're not taking the burdens or the problems of the world into our self-love. We're just not. Left brain, right brain, subconscious mind. I mean, you got to keep in mind that is what we're dealing with. That is in the current affairs, and that has been the energy that has been in the Earth Angel's glowing aura since the 4th of July. 4th of July, you have a reader telling thousands of women how the intuitive healing business basically shine the light on a bunch of rich men's winner personalities inside your children on an island. Okay, cool. So we want to remove that energy. We want to banish that energy out of our aura. We want to leave that in the past. So those are the people that you voted into office. This is that you've got the Gary Gensler, the chief executive security office of your Securities Exchange Commission, all over YouTube, dressed like a clown, involved in a government lawsuit because he did not want digital footprints on finances because his money had been going to Eastine Island. What a fucking mess. No wonder America's being deconstructed. Cards in the upright. Oh, we'll flip it around. Simple enough. Focus on the situation. Yeah, your soul vessel. We got to focus on ourselves currently. That's what it is. You're talking about people that have been in power, abused their power, and are still in power. Think about that. Think about that for a second. You have people that are trying to do a money and a land and a power grab and hold on to it with everything they've got. But your Federal Bureau of Investigation lost a list because they don't want to embarrass the winner personalities, the demonic group of lizard brains that have been eating your babies on an island. They can afford it. They can afford things like that. They can afford the Federal Bureau of Investigation to just kind of lose the laundry list. What are the intentions? Yeah, their willpower is upside down at this point. And it's what it is. I hear there was an Earth Angel that escaped the Matrix. Is that true? Fuck it, who would want to be in that Matrix anyway? Simple enough. And it's what it is. I mean, you are not your thoughts. However, you got to think. That's the I'm not telling you anything that's not all over YouTube right now. Can you believe everything that you hear on YouTube? No. Do we know they have a problem with a glowing Earth Angel shining a light on things? Yes. It comes with the territory. I'm going to attract These people want to block love when love is all there is. Why? Because they like your kids. They do. They like to eat children on an island. Simple enough. It's not that hard to figure out. You're talking about necromancy. These individuals want our spiritual gifts. Okay, cool. They think that they can get our spiritual gifts through cannibalism, period. Do your research. Look it up. That's the energy, 15:15 on the clock. That's the energy and the problem that is in the cards. Right now, when you hear a reader say they have done this over and over and over again until they pick the wrong one or the right one, however you want to look at it, yes, what is my dark side? I get off on toying with people that like to eat other people. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. I like to find people like that and dangle them in front of you. Like they're selling you a pipe dream with a carrot on a stick. The key to harvesting women's energy, selling them a pipe dream with a carrot on a stick, is a sleazy salesman's technique. The key to that is to be so charismatic, to be the devil that's the liar, to be so charismatic that she won't wake up from the dream on your pipe, but she still wants to eat the carrot off of your stick. Okay, cool. So if I know that that's how they teach selling her a pipe dream with a carrot on a stick, it's a sleazy confirmation. It's a sleazy salesman's technique. So if I know that that is what they are doing, and you have necromancers that think that they can absorb the essence of star seeds or spiritual people or earth angels or chosen ones or intuitives, psychics, mediums, whatever you want to call it, indigenous people. So they think that that's the energy in the cards. I'm not the only one that knows what necromancy is. The energy readers are picking it up, and I know how necromancy. Okay, so it's what it is. The information is there. You have to have eyes that can see and ears that can hear. Great. So if we know that there is a corrupt group of demonic parasites that are wanting to ingest the essence of children, ingest spiritual people so that they can steal their gifts. Well then cool, I'm just going to wrap them up like the knapsack on the Fool's card with my little dog, and I'm going to throw them over my back. I'm going to put that shit behind me, and it's what it is. And as I walk off the cliff, I have the entrepreneurial spirit. I'm going to build a plane on the way down. However, I'm dangling a carrot on a stick too. It's a bag full of necromancers. That's what it is. And you got to keep in mind, I talked about this on my other channel. Me talking about this on my other channel is when the dark black magic started coming alive. Oh God, we've got to do everything we can. We have to do everything we can to abuse all the abilities that we have so far. And they don't want that truth coming out. And that's what it is. They picked the wrong one. They shouldn't have picked me. Simple enough. Now, what is the problem in this situation? That energy is going to be going back on them. I can't do anything about that. The whole group. Okay, cool. So that's one person that a bunch of evil people wanted to sacrifice, and now the energy is returning back to. Okay, cool. So how many are in the group? How many are in that evil group of devils that are liars, that have been charismatic, that have been drawing people in? Oh, he's such a nice person. Oh, he's such a... Yeah, the pathway to hell is paved with good intentions. Yeah, fucking golden treasures is upside down. You're talking about people who are practicing necromancy. Go do your research. They want your spiritual gifts because they feel it. They want... Pisces, these people want to wear your skin. When you hear a reader say that, that's some Wild Bill. That's some Silence of the Lambs type shit. Simple enough. Okay, great. So if you know that that's the kind of people, it puts the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again. If we know we're dealing with those kinds of people, and they're the ones you voted into office. Think about that, right? You can't have the victims of E. Stein's situation coming out talking about things that a seer sees. You've got too many gifted energy readers, and it's what it is. I'll say something in the comments, and then you'll have somebody respond to my comment. Oh yeah, I love it when these readers talk about this BS. I love it when these readers talk about this crap. What? The INFJ winged seer of souls? I'm right in front of you. That mystical, magical unicorn, they make memes about that. The INFJ unicorn, they make memes about that. I am a rare breed, 1 to 2% of the human population. Basically, I'm a mystical unicorn. They make memes about that. So when an energy reader is picking up that mystical unicorn energy, I'm right in front of you. When they're picking up that winged seer of souls, oh, what, do you mean an INFJ with astral sight? You mean an INFJ with interdimensional vision? Simple enough, I've got classes for that. So they have a hard time talking to me about what I can do when I've got the fucking manual right here. Oh, that stuff sounds crazy. Well, yeah, it's hidden information they never told you about. I got the manual right there. Have you read the manual? No! Then you're not going to know the hidden information it contains. And it takes a lot of work. I don't expect anyone to do the work that I've done. Reiki for astral sight activation, that is a 6-month developmental course. It takes 6 months of you investing 10 minutes of a day into yourself. Right? The average human attention span is 8 seconds. So I don't expect the average human to be able to invest 10 minutes of solid focus and concentration into themselves a day. I don't expect it. On average, I don't expect it. Right? That's expecting too much out of people. Expecting them to invest 10 minutes a day into themselves when the average human attention span by Google standards is only 8 seconds. That means I have to expect an extra 9 minutes and 52 seconds out of a human. I'm not going to get that extra 9 minutes and 52 seconds if they're not even going to give it to themselves. So I don't expect that out of them. Simple enough. Well, that gift that these readers are talking about, that INFJ gift of sight, that seer ability, right? It's a blessing and a curse, because you'll tell someone about it, the things that you can see as a seer. Oh, that sounds crazy. Well, yeah, I understand, but you also sound illiterate, because I've got the manual right here. I've got the manual of everything you think is crazy. You think it's crazy. Oh, that sounds insane. Did you read about it? No? Cool. So if you haven't read about it, then you certainly haven't practiced it. You don't have any experience with it. Right? Okay, cool. That's your ego death. Congratulations. You just had an ego death. Ah! Somebody did something you've never done before. Someone told you something exists that you were unaware of. It's simple enough, right? Is that your fault? Is that your fault that I didn't already tell you last year and you weren't here with it? You weren't here then. You just weren't here then when I told you last year. But they certainly want something that Pisces has, and it's the gift. They want reward without effort. Simple enough. Who knows what this group, gaggle, hive, or herd of demonic parasites is up to? You'll have to go talk to these readers. I stay away from people like that. I keep me and my 5-star reviews away from people like that. I just do. They think I'm not very smart. They don't. I've got the fucking manual that sees them. I see what they're up to. I took the class. I have the class. That's what it is. I mean, and you got to think, add an insult to injury. Think about it. You've got the knowledge that the energy reader is talking about it. No matter how ancient it sounds, no matter how far-fetched that may seem to someone that's completely unaware, no matter how... I've got the manual. Oh, I love it when that reader says those crazy things. Well, yeah, I've got the class. So she's talking about crazy things that you have no education on. Oh, so there's something I'm unaware. I don't know everything. You're going to have to accept that. You're going to have to accept the fact that there's just some things you're unaware of. That's what it is. And now, what is the truth that's coming out? What is done in the dark comes to the light. Cool. So look at the double standard. You have us activating ancient abilities that have been taken from you, that give us the ability to see through. The ones that have the knowledge, they don't want to give their power away. They have achieved a degree of power, and they just don't want to give their power away. They want to abuse their power with these lower level catfish and bottom feeders down here. They look at you as consumers. You're just a bunch of Karen consumers. You're buying our brands. That's why we brand you like cattle and sheep. We do. We put a brand on you, and you pay top dollar for that because you think. That's what it is. And that's the thing. They're controlling your mind. It's a good thing that you think. Don't get me wrong. But if you think the way that they want you to, they got you. Look at that. That's what it is. Inner alchemy. Simple enough. Do you believe in magic? Simple enough. Right, so now, what is the new level, new devil, Pisces? Great, you have a corrupt group of demonic unalivers having judgment called on them. So not only do we have that coming to the light, but it's coming to the light when I already told you on my other channel. Are they talking about the people I was talking about on my other channel? So it is. I know how small minds talk about people, but it is a whole fucking group of serial unalivers that have been able to roam free. That have fucking just been able to roam free, do whatever they wanted to do for this whole allotted amount of time. And you got a Federal Bureau of Investigation. Oh, look at this big old long list we got. Oh, no list. Nope, no list. No, we don't have that list anymore. We just don't have that because it's the people that pay us. And fucking, oh God, what a system crash that's going to be. Oh, the whole system falls apart if that embarrassment happens. There'll be a revolt. Oh, the people will revolt. They will uprise. They will no longer pay these people to do the demonic things they do. Inner vision. I hear Pisces ancestors are exposing these people one batch at a time. That's what it is. Patience is needed. I can't do anything about that. I can't do anything about people being put. Yeah, the raw, juicy truth. Imagine that. You think that raw, juicy truth is somebody with an entity attachment? Simple. No, there's a Pisces out there with an entity attachment. Or you think it's a woman? You think it's a woman with a devil Capricorn moon that's got Bob coming out of her Susie? That's what it is. I do remember that Jay-Z Knight, because when you talk about a demonic group of serial unalivers, when I hear a reader say that, and it being a cult, a demonic cult of serial unalivers, I always think of Jay-Z Knight. Jay-Z Knight had the Ramtha School of Enlightenment, and it's what it is. The critics ended up deeming that as a cult. A lot of the students, and it was a woman named Jay-Z Knight that channeled Ramtha, a 35,000-year-old entity that had great knowledge, and it's what it is. I mean, the devil's a liar. Those students ended up getting karma. All kinds of things happened. Confirmation. It's just what it is. So, I mean, when you think of demonic cult of serial unalivers and the juicy truth that goes along with that, you would want to automatically think of the past. Open your eyes up to the past. Jay-Z Knight, a woman named Jay-Z Knight, channeled a 35,000-year-old entity named Ramtha, the Ramtha School of Enlightenment. That's not a Bashar. That's not an Abraham. That's a Ramtha. That's a Ramtha that Jay-Z Knight channeled. that ended up being a cult with a bunch of students getting karma in the end. So it's what it is. I mean, when you think Jay-Z Knight and Ramtha, it's what it is. Think of that as the past. In the current, we have Bashar with Daryl Anka. In the present, we have Abraham Hicks coming out of an Esther. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. So, I mean, when you think of a corrupt group of demonic serial unalivers, we want to find the juicy truth around this cult following, because when I hear the word cult and serial demonic, is that like a demonic attachment? Is that like people with a demonic attachment? That's what it is, because I mean, the Ramtha School of Enlightenment that you can Google, it's on Google. When it was open, it's like people go to sleep. It's like they were awake to that. They were awake and aware that that school ended up getting a cult following. And I know students that ended up getting karma, and I know that the teacher takes on the karma of the student, but Ramtha didn't get the karma. Jay-Z Knight did. So what it is. So, I mean, and now we have that in this day and age. Now we have, in this day, we have that same kind of a cult energy in the cards. So if we had cult energy in the past we had cult energy of the Ramtha School of Enlightenment with Jay-Z Knight. Jay-Z Knight was a woman that channeled an entity named Ramtha. Got deemed, you don't hear about it anymore. People went to fucking sleep. Oh, it just got buried under the rug. Do we ever hear anything about Jay-Z Knight anymore? And Ramtha, you think that demonic parasite just ate Jay-Z Knight? Who knows? I would have to go do the research. I haven't done any research on that. I'm too worried about the present moment, because the present is such a gift. The present is such a gift. The past is in the past. Ramtha School of Enlightenment it's no longer, does that even exist anymore? Does the Ramthas, because I mean, you would think a 35,000-year-old entity named Ramtha coming out of jail. I'll have to go do the research. Here, you know what? Let me do the research right now. Let me just do the research right now so I don't make any assumptions. Is the Ramtha School of Enlightenment, because you would think a 35,000-year-old entity would be smart enough to keep a fucking school open in modern times. Whatever happened to the Ramtha School of Enlightenment? The results. The Ramtha School of Enlightenment, led by Jay-Z Knight as the sole channeler of the entity Ramtha, continues to offer workshops and classes live and online globally, focusing on ancient wisdom and the teachings of Ramtha. While the organization faced controversy and criticism, including accusations of being a dangerous cult, and the questions around the integrity of its leader, it still operates and promotes its philosophy of celebrating life and personal empowerment, key developments, and current status. Okay, great. So, criticism of leadership, controversies. Despite continued operation, the school has faced significant controversy, including criticism of leadership. Critics such as the Anti-Cult Network have labeled Knight a dangerous cult leader. Alleged militarianism. By the late 1980s, Ramtha's teachings took a decidedly militarian turn, warning of a future Armageddon that some members began preparing for. Self-delete incident. In 2022, a couple who allegedly had connections to Ramtha School of Enlightenment committed self-deletion in Italy. Hey, don't we have Italy underwater right now? That's big in the news currently. That was natural disasters was in the cards earlier. Natural disasters was in the cards earlier. I wonder if Italy has anything to do with natural disasters currently. Through the school and the prosecutor's office found no link between the incident and Ramtha School of Enlightenment. What's, investigators can't find a link between your leaders and your wealthy men and an island full of children. So we really can't expect anything out of investigators anymore. It's just what it is. We can't trust them. Certainly can't trust them. They can't keep up with a grocery list. They can't keep up with a grocery list. So, confirmation. It's just what it is. So take it what it's worth. You've got something that is still operating today that was deemed as a dangerous cult by the anti-cult network, and we still have that energy in the cards today. It's what it is. So if you've got, do you think that parasite has spread? Do you think the dangerous cult leader, been deemed a dangerous cult leader, Jay-Z Night with Ramtha, still in operation today, still has online courses? They're still open today. They're seen as dangerous, but you got dangerous people on East Island too, on a list that just magically disappeared. That's what it is. So when I think of dangerous cult leader in a Jay-Z night that channels Ramtha, I'm not going to take, precautions are precautions. I'm just going to take precaution. I'm not going to deal with a Daryl that channels Bashar, an ancient deity, because there's a possibility that could end up. I don't want my school involved with anything that can be criticized as a cult later. Simple enough. I don't want my 2,500-year-old channeling school accepted in 50 countries ever deemed, because there's precautions that we take. There's Reiki for shielding, grounding, and flashing those entities to repel them away from you. Simple enough. That's why it's called Reiki for entity removal. If you don't practice your technique and something like that were to happen, it's in the manual. It's in the manual. Everything that have your investigators that can't figure it out, have they looked in the manual? or do you think they got their mind twisted on a stage because it's a stage show? So who knows? Well, why don't we go and ask Abraham Hicks about Ramtha School of Enlightenment? I know she likes to visit my channel quite often. So I don't know. You think maybe when they talk about Pisces, it's family involvement? You don't think that has anything to do with my daughter and her mother, Miss Hicks, do you? You don't think it has anything to do with that, do you? It's just what it is. I know me, I don't have anything to do with a demonic cult group of parasite. When I hear parasite, I think, what, an entity attachment? Okay. So you can Google that, Reiki for entity removal. Simple enough. You've got multiple readers talking about these people need an exorcism. What, you think like dangerous cult leaders like Jay-Z Knight that channels Ramtha? That's what it is. That's what they say. But, they're really, really good at fooling people. Really, really good at fooling people, especially investigators. It just said so. Just said so right here. It's a simple Google search. And they do say birds of a feather flock together. So if I've got a Jay-Z that channels Ramtha and there's a possibility I'm going to have to leave that cult following, let cults do what cults do. If it's an Abraham that channels a Hick, if it's an Abraham that channels some Hick, it's what it is. It's what it is. Apples with apples. I'm so sorry. It's what it is. Apples with apples. If it's a Daryl that channels an alien name, blah 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 blah. It's what it is. Bashar, it's what it is. So there's too much cult activity in the cards right now for us to take a chance. It's just what it is. Now you're more than welcome to give me a call as a seer that sees through that witch and warlock necromancy, but it's what it is. It's what it is. Anyway, you guys have a beautiful day. It is 10/22, 100%. 100 is always going to represent claircognizant ability. You're 100% on point. So it's what it is. And like I said, you can't don't believe anything that I say, because trust me, that's the biggest fucking red flag anyone can ever give you. Simple enough. Do your research. Right? My truth isn't their truth, isn't their truth, isn't their truth. But when I hear in the cards this morning that there is a demonic cult of an insane demonic cult of serial unalivers, and I just read to you a dangerous school called the Ramtha School of Enlightenment, where Jay-Z Knight channels a 35,000-year-old entity named Ramtha. Could that possibly be a demon, huh? Do you think that could possibly be the demonic energy that we have in our cards? They don't like the tarot community, and we're not responsible for what they like. I'm certainly not responsible for how they feel. We know that my light triggers their demons. And it's what it is. You got to think, they're wanting to use reactive abuse on Pisces so that they can poke the bear. See, look, he's crazy. Well, yeah, I mean, anytime you read about a fucking demon school that's still active, when multiple people are up on stage selling their souls to the LOA, or the Lord of Air, which is Lucifer. That's what it is. Anyway, you tell me what you think. What I think doesn't matter. I don't exist. Let's just do that. I know how these narcissists love to use their image. So let me just take a step back, closed off. Let me just close myself off to all of these energies. This body language. This means that you have something to fucking hide. I do. I have to hide me from a demonic culture fucking group of parasites. It's just what it is. I'm going to hide me right here before your fucking very eyes. I'm hiding me from a corrupt cult of demonic parasites. It's just what it is. We have to stay closed off. We have to hide our fucking feelings on that situation. It's just what it is. We have to hold back. We have to hold back with all we have. Think about that. Sweet. And I mean, that's the energy in the cards. So cool. So go talk to these tarot readers that people fucking... That just sounds crazy. Well, hell, this was back in the 80s. Fucking how old are you? This fucking school was back before you were probably even born, if you're not as old as I am. People fall asleep, or they get the new age. They get the new age group. Is Ramtha an ascended master? For more information about Ramtha, the Enlightened One... Okay, cool. That's what does Illuminati mean? The Enlightened Ones. Ascended Master and his International School of the Mind and Ancient Wisdom, offering workshops and classes live and online around the world the last 4 decades. Visit Ramtha. Who is Ramtha the Enlightened One? According to Knight, Ramtha is a 35,000-year-old conqueror warrior from the lost continent of Lemuria who found enlightenment during a period of forced rest. Master teacher of the Ramtha School of Enlightenment, started by Knight in 1987 near a town of Yelm, Washington. Right. Since 1987. However, the school has faced significant criticism, with former students accusing it of brainwashing, mind control, and intimidation, leading to the formation of an online community called Life After RSE, Ramtha School of Enlightenment, LARS, to support those who have left the school. Okay, great. So that's what it is. So they've got a fucking recovery from religion support group from the Romp, the School of Enlightenment. That's not going to fucking happen in my school. I'm going to take every motherfucking precaution to make sure my students don't ever have to go through anything like that. Certainly don't need the involvement of a fucking Abraham channeling an Esther or fucking however that works. I certainly don't need angels and demons being discussed around my school when I've got the fucking manual I trust. It's energetic. It's positive or negative energy. It's just what it is. And working with, they're making Pisces fight for something that is already theirs. Okay, cool. So when you hear a tarot reader say they're making, what, my 5-star business as a QHHT practitioner, my 5-star business channeling the higher self instead of some fucking 35,000-year-old middleman demon that's still walking the earth, you think that's what it is? Pisces, you get your downloads directly from the divine. You fucking think? You think so? Is there a middleman anywhere between my crown activation and the divine? Oh, they don't like that. And I'm not responsible for what other people like. It's a simple Google search. However, if it started 1987. So if you're not older, can you remember 1987? Ask yourself that. What were you doing in 1987? Where were you? Right? Are you asleep to that fact? If I ask you that, what were you doing in 1987? Did you immediately shut off? Do you immediately go to sleep? It's just fucking a complete blur. 1987. 1987. What was going on in 1987? That's called going to sleep. You're fucking shutting off. Your brain shuts off. 1987. What was going on in 1987? I can't remember 1987. 1987, what's that? I can't think of one thing that happened in 1987. If I could think of one thing that happened in 1987, I would be able to type it in my comments right now. Not go and Google it. And you're more than welcome to say Romp the School of Enlightenment. Fuck yeah, say Romp the School of Enlightenment happened in fucking 1987. You're more than welcome to put that in the comments. However, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for one thing that happened to you. You're the most important thing, right? Great. So if you were around in 1987, what can you remember from that year? Right. So if I say that to you and you immediately are unaware or asleep, 1987, that whole year is gone from my database. I have no recollection of the year 1987. I have to go back into the fucking file folder because my power to remember shit has been taken away from me. My attention span's on average only 8 seconds. So I would expect them to be able to cover up fucking anything from 1987. I'm done. That's what it is. Fucking mull on that for the day while I go and enjoy life and enlightenment without a fucking middleman between me and God. You guys go do whatever you're going to do. Namaste.